Well, hello there, and this is Auntie, and I am coming out to give a review on 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. If this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. To all my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And to all of my ride or die nieces and nephews who have been here with me for the long haul, I so appreciate you all so much. Y'all, we're gonna go head on and get into this foolishness, okay? This particular episode of 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After was absolutely cotton freaking hilarious. Like, I think I laughed through the whole entire episode. We see, this one start off the same place that it ended off, with Pi walking off the stage talking about, why am I even still with you? And Russ runs behind her. And she says that, she's angry because she felt like he wasn't defending her and that he was basically blaming her for wearing the lingerie. Well, Paula, you wore the lingerie. She goes on to talk about how she had brought, they went shopping together for her to buy these sexy, I guess appropriate, Russ appropriate outfits, and I just thought that it was absolutely hilarious. Like, you're a mean girl. You know what I'm saying? You have proven to be just a mean girl. I ain't feeling you. I have been out here, Paula, Pi, or whatever the hell your name is, defending you week after week. And today I really saw you for the chimichanga that you really are. I didn't like it. I just was like, okay, whatever. So Russ, with his weak ass self, ends up folding and basically like, I love her and she's my everything, and no, I'm not blaming you and all that kind of stuff. And they walk back out and she says, I'm stubborn and Russ is stubborn too. Girl, bye. Each week you are capable of liking these characters or even hating them. And this particular week, I don't even like Paula. Like, I hate her. Like, you are a mean girl, you and Loren. Like, I don't know why Chantel sat there and didn't say anything, but I would have lit their asses up in that dark room. So anyway, y'all, green room, black room, white room, whatever the hell kind of room it was. And I said that, because it was Sunday and it's the Sabbath, that I was not going to curse. And I tell you what, I can't even hold it back, okay? I'm trying my best to do that, but you know what? So anyway, they shut the set down. They come back on the set. And they're like, she's like, hi, well, guess who's back? Whatever. But right now, we're going to clear the stage because we really want to talk about the meat and potatoes of all of this. We want to talk to Danielle and Mohamed. Lord Jesus, if Mohamed did not look at alfalfa sitting out there today, I was like, you go ahead on, but with your little Pee Wee Herman outfit on. Boo, you was killing it. I'm talking about you are killing it. It's so nostalgic. Mohamed. At first I was like, okay, he looked all right and everything. But then when we got up on it and we saw his greasy hair, I was like calling all my girlfriends and was like, oh my God, that is where all the Crisco went out of the grocery store. It's in Mohamed's hair. Mohamed, come on now. You had the little alfalfa sprout in the back. Like, I just was like, oh, okay. And then your little brown Pee Wee Herman socks. I was just waiting for your little bicycle for you to get on your little bicycle and tinky 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 and ring the bell to hee down the street. But anyway, I digress, so I can go ahead on to get through this. And we see Danielle sitting on there, with her Old Navy outfit on, her little, knee-length pants with a little tattoo showing in the front. And I was like, when everybody's cell phones and stuff like that was going off, you could have been using that money to pay for that instead of paying for that, tattoo that you got in the front of your leg. But I digress. and I'm going to go ahead and move on. So they start talking to Danielle about, basically, Danielle, what do you want out of this relationship? And Danielle's like, I want him to pay my money back. Wait a minute. I want him to pay my money back. And I want him deported out of the country. So, in the background, we see, Paola and Loren, like, she'll own the United States. She'll own this joint. That was wrong for her to even say something like that. And we see Mohomad sitting there like, and then the thing about it is, then the thing about it is they just can get up on him right. They close up on him like this, y'all. He like, I was like, Mohamed, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. So, basically, Danielle, they flash back. Excuse me, y'all. They flash back. And they, go through some of the stuff that Danielle went through. And she was like, well, let's catch up and everything. Danielle, you got a boyfriend. And so Danielle, basically, the one who doesn't use, proper prepositions and conjunctions and everything. And then, the whole time she was talking and speaking, I kept thinking of that song, Conjunction, Junction, what's your fun? I like conjunction, junction. Come on now. Come on. You got prepositions. I mean, come on, boo. You have things that you can use to connect your sentences together. So, she goes on and she talks about, the boyfriend not wanting to be, he don't want to be public. Okay. So, let's move on. So she's like, okay, so then why are you mad at Mohamed? Because Mohamed got stuff on Facebook and, it just looked bad and it's embarrassing. And Mohamed was like, okay, well, so if I hadn't had the pictures, it wouldn't have bothered you. No, it wouldn't have bothered me at all, Mohamed. I'm just saying, you out there. Baby. So she's like, okay, well, Danielle, you reached out to a girl. You was, basically harassing her. I want to harass her and send her time on Facebook. And she was like, okay, so why you send her some on Facebook? Because I don't want nobody to go through the same thing I did, with Mohamed. Mohamed's still sitting over there unbothered. Mohamed said, basically right now, boy, I'm eating chicken. I don't eat no more seafood. I ain't got time for it. I don't like the smell of it. And so basically, I'm eating fried chicken. I'm eating Popeyes. I'm eating Churches, KFC. I'm even going to, little, stores that's, little corner stores, and I'm eating the fried chicken off there. I'm eating the chicken southern fried. I'm eating the chicken, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. I'm eating chicken with, lemon and pepper. I'm eating hot wings. I'm eating chicken all kinds of ways. Because at this point, I don't even like seafood anymore. You stink. So anyway, they go on, and Mohamed is like, it basically, it's not about that. And so she pulls out this book. And, the host is looking at her like, what's going on, Danielle? And she's like, well, this book, I have some emails. So Mohamed was like, look, if you're going to tell a story, tell a whole story. Don't take text messages and cut them and make it seem like it's more than what it is. I need you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you, Danielle. And so Danielle closes the book. So she's like, well, what is the book about, Danielle? And she said, well, I'm basically going to send this book to immigration because I want Mohamed deported. I want him out of here, but not before he gives me my money. And so Mohamed was like, go for it, boo. Go for it. I don't care. But the thing about it is every time Mohamed would talk to her, he'd talk to her like this. Go for it. Do what you got to do. I was like, Mohamed, you better go ahead. You better go ahead. Mohamed is basically showing the mature side of himself. He's gotten some training. His friend Tom taught him a couple of things. And Mohamed's not. He's like, I don't care. Basically what I'm going to do, with my life, with the rest of my life, is I'm going to disappear. I said, Mohamed, you a mess. Mohamed said, I am done. I don't care about this anymore. Danielle, do what you gotta do. You can take a book, an encyclopedia collection, whatever you need to do to immigration. I'm disappearing and I'm gonna live my life and do what I wanna do. She asks Danielle, how you feel about that? I'm angry. Why are you angry? This is what you want, Danielle. See, you can't hurt him anymore. He's got the divorce. He's free at last. And he doesn't care. Danielle is saying that she's angry because basically she wants him to stay here. And she wants him to apologize. She actually expected Mohamed to apologize to her. Girl, something is seriously wrong with you. Mohamed is done. So she asks Mohamed, do you believe that Danielle really loved you? And Mohamed was like, no, I think it's fake. And here comes the waterworks. Right on cue. I'm tired of even acting like her. Danielle, get over it. She walks off the stage and Mohamed says she knows how to cry on cue. This is what she does to get sympathy from people. And every time something is said that she doesn't like, she cries. And Danielle, you do. So she walks off the stage. Mohamed is still talking. He indicates that, you know, when he came over here, there were a lot of problems that were going on in our household, and we all saw them. And Danielle, meanwhile, is behind stage, saying that she lost her family for a year because she was with Mohamed and supporting Mohamed and backing up Mohamed. She goes on to say, if that wasn't love, then what was it? It was absolutely stupidity. That's what it was, Danielle. It was stupidity and desperation. It is what it is. The producer that was back there didn't even say anything because I know that she had an encyclopedia of her own of things that they have seen that has been on the cutting room floor. Danielle, nobody's checking for you anymore. Put a picture up though. We do want to see that, and we do want to buy one. Hopefully they are discounted. You see what I'm saying? At 50%, $2.50 per picture. You know what I'm saying? Based on your performance tonight. But I digress. So Danielle comes back out. She wants to talk a little bit more. You know, basically she says that she cried because she was hurt. Because Mohamed said that she didn't love him. But Danielle, if you love him and you cared about him, then you want the best for him. Mohamed wished you the best. He told you he don't care who you sleep with. He don't care who you do. You sit there and you tell Mohamed that there were no pictures out there. But Danielle, you take with a guy at the table. So how dare you sit there and criticize Mohamed for what he did on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever kind of social media page, Periscope, that he's used. You actually filmed with the guy that you were dating. Remember, Danielle, that you were sitting at the restaurant with him? I digress. So they bring all the couples back out. You know, no, before they bring the couples back out, we see a conversation going on in the back. And this is when we see Loren and Paola being ugly girls. And they're back there having a conversation about Danielle and Mohamed because they were backstage watching. And so now Loren goes off with her duck mouth and says how she doesn't want to be associated with them and then she's embarrassed. And then she attacks George and Anfisa. Anfisa was like, girl, I'm trying to tell you something. I don't have time for it. She gets up and dismisses herself immediately. Anfisa, you smarter than everybody think you are. You playing dumb and acting like you don't understand, but you totally understand. You knew what was coming. So she got up and she left out, which I didn't blame her. And then Loren proceeds to attack George. First of all, Loren, you needed to be sitting beside Alex. And Paola, you needed to be sitting beside Russ. You all need to separate. You're not good for one another. And you're mean girls. And the stuff that you're saying out of your mouth, had it been somebody like me back there, I would have checked you immediately. Because you know what you need to do, Paola? You need to worry about the underwear and the lingerie that you're going to have to wear up your butt cheeks. And Loren, you need to be worrying about how many more people are going to be calling you to do seminars and conventions for Tourette's. Seriously. You all have your own problems. You sat up there and lied to your husband, and you got the nerve to point your finger at somebody else. Not only did you lie to your husband once, you lied to your husband twice. As a matter of fact, your parents even conspired in a lie with you. So how dare you point a finger at Anfisa or anybody else? I, frankly, would be embarrassed about you because you walked around embarrassed about who you were and didn't even let anybody know, the world know, that you had Tourette's until we all started making comments on your social media pages and saying what was the twitching about. And you have the nerve to sit in the back and judge somebody else based on a lie that they may have told. Let me tell you something, boo. When Anfisa came over here, she basically said, I'm about this money. George goes on later on to say that he flashed money in her face and made it rain in her face. So all he did was take a carrot stick in front of her and bait her in. He knew exactly what he was getting, and he knew exactly what he was paying for. But what he could not do, and what he did not think of, was how was I going to be able to do and keep up this facade for the long run. So anyway, they sit in the back. And she says, well, George, you and Anfisa, did you ever love her? He's like, yeah. She said, did she ever love you? And George is like, I don't know if she loved me or not. And she's like, well, tell me, what is it that you really loved about her? And before George could even answer the question, she's asking, and you can't even say why. First of all, Loren, excuse me, it's none of your business. I digress. We already have established that was none of her business. Okay, so now Paola wants to get into it. Pa, the one that wears the lingerie, the one that has the husband that is jealous about her, the one that has the boyfriend or the girlfriend or whatever it is that comes over here and talks about her husband and causes confusion in her relationship, the one that doesn't look like anything, and she gonna sit there and say out of her damn hair weave ass mouth that Anfisa doesn't look pretty. Bitch, when was the last time you looked in the mirror? You were so ugly and unattractive being who you were that they asked you to change your hair color. They asked you to show your ass because your face wasn't going to cut it. And you got the nerve to say something about Anfisa's Botox and how she's not attractive? Are you serious, Paola? Like I'm giving you the side eye. Are you serious? You weren't acceptable the way you were. How dare you bring down another woman based on her looks like that? Now, we all know and we realize that you got a bowl cut hair weave. And we realize that your hair is short and broke off and brittle and, just hard to the touch. And when you touch it, it's just like ashes. It just poofs up and turns into nothing. We already know. But ain't nobody coming for you like that on the cast. And you have the nerve to say that about another woman. When you sit up there with your ass out on somebody's music video that can't even get 100,000 likes on it. Girl, sit your... And then you're going to have the nerve to ask him, are you a mail order bride? Get your English together first before you start coming checking for somebody. What you should have said out of your mouth was, George, is Anfisa a mail order bride? But even if she was and even if she wasn't, what are you? What are you? Are you the one that they buy with the book of stamps? You know, the stamps that people collect and they used to consider it off to buy stuff? Is that what you are? You got a whole lot of nerve, Paola, to check somebody about how they look and what they do as a profession when you laying up on a video with your ass out, with a white teddy on, fighting back and forth with your husband. You think more higher of yourself than you ought to. You need to be brought down a couple of pegs. I'm trying to get it together, and I'm trying to keep it together. Don't y'all see me? I am so restrained. And George is sitting back there saying, well, I thought that we had a good relationship. George, you shouldn't have answered any questions with your weak ass self. That was one of the things that Mohamed said about Danielle. He said, I can't stand the fact that Danielle is weak. She just wants a man. She don't care how he come. She don't care what kind of conditions it is. She thinks that as long as she has a man in her life is good. Well, guess what? Just having a man in your life doesn't mean life is good. Sometimes they can be the worst things in the world. It depends on what kind of man you get. Anyway, George says, you know, when his money ran out, that's when he had problems with Anfisa. Really, George? No, you had problems with Anfisa, and you have problems with yourself, where you were so lonely that you were willing to pay for her. Anfisa's not the problem, George. You are. I saw your little buttons pulling tonight. You think I didn't see it? You think deep down at the bottom of that blue shirt that I didn't see them 3 buttons at the bottom pulling like a motherfucker? I saw it. They was pulling like I don't know what. Them bitches was crying like they was screaming out there on that stage, just asking for an opportunity for you to stand up so you could just pull it down a little bit and get them threads some kind of relief. You fat blue shirt wearing bastard. But anyway, that was my alternate personality. She's left, and now I'm back. How dare you talk about her like that around these women that don't mean her any good? Chantel didn't like it, but she wasn't black enough to check it. And so anyway, she's going to come in. You know, when you love somebody, you're supposed to love, you know, through the good and the bad. Really? You was about to walk out on your husband. See, this is what I don't understand. How all these little pots going to be calling all these other little kettles black. And you could see that when Loren was back there talking, that Alex didn't like it. And when they came back out from backstage, Alex checked her and was like, you know, you and Paola, y'all was out of control. I'm totally embarrassed by you, Loren. I can't believe that you would sit there and talk to another woman like that. And she was like, when George was answering the questions, I respect that fact that he was answering the questions. No, you didn't. You was being messy. You was being real messy. But see, the thing about it is when the tables get turned on you and somebody says something about you or about all the lies that you told or talk about how the fact that you hid that you had Tourette's, which is a part of who you are, then you ain't going to want to hear that, right? Your storyline is so damn boring. You so boring. You so don't have anything going on. Paula, outside of her lingerie, she don't have nothing going on either. So y'all can sit there and afford to talk about people like that. So the next thing we know, you see, you know, we see them come on back out, you know, and they get to talking to Pedro and Chantel about their stuff. She asks, you know, about how the mother treated her and all of that kind of stuff with the chicken wings and, you know, the chicken legs and the chicken feet and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, they basically, you know, didn't eat it. Chantel says that she stayed with them and they've never cooked it. Pedro laughs about it because basically him and Chantel are in another place right now as far as that's concerned. He says that he needs to get into the boxing ring with the brother River because at this point they still at odds with one another. Okay, go on and get in the ring. That little skinny boy gonna surprise you. I'm trying to tell you, Pedro. Don't sleep on them. Don't sleep on little light skin. Don't sleep on little light skin. So they asked Mohamed, Mohamed, what did you think about that? Mohamed was like, basically, I was on the mother's side until, she ain't eat it herself. Then I was like, damn, there really is a problem. Chantel, you really are in danger. When they came back on the stage, the host had the nerve to ask Loren, if you had any nice words to say to Danielle and Mohamed, what would it be? And she's talking about some, what, y'all go and y'all just leave each other alone. Mohamed has left her alone. Don't you see him over there looking like this? He has left her alone. But the problem is that Danielle is still hanging on. She hanging on by half of a thread. Mohamed don't want her. Then they go on, her and Paula, to attack, Mohamed and Mom. Mohamed was like, you need to chill out, young. You need to calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Relax. Relax. At this point, Alex is sitting up on the edge of the chair. He's totally embarrassed. Loren is going off and telling him that how he and Danielle make people have issues with the green card program. It ain't just them. It's you too. Take ownership for your stuff. Danielle had the nerve earlier to say that Mohamed didn't take ownership for his stuff. Yes, he did. Multiple times. He took ownership and he walked away too. You are the one that didn't take ownership. You the one that still stopped. I digress. So Paola and Loren, they physically attacking. Danielle tries to talk about the pictures and everything. And Paola was like, you know what, Danielle, I don't care about nothing you have to say. I don't want to hear anything you have to say because you stupid. Move on. Danielle is shocked. She is, she looking like, girl, you ain't got to look that far off them glasses. Get yourself together. You sitting in the back with rust coming out of your eyes, looking like the Tin Man, talking about you care too much. Bitch, bye. They were right about that. Move on, Danielle. But I didn't like the fact how they jumped her. Y'all got a lot of nerve. A lot of nerve. Y'all, I'm telling you, this episode right here, I wasn't feeling it. I was laughing through most of it because I was laughing at Mohamed because Mohamed just doesn't give a damn anymore. He don't care. He doesn't care. He don't give a rat's ass about what happens anymore with Danielle. Danielle, he's done. So Loren said something out of her mouth that Mohamed didn't like, and he checked her quick. And you know what? Her husband didn't defend her. Because what she was doing, you can't defend. You need to mind your business. You was asked one question, you answer it, and you move on. And they're going back and forth, and she's telling Mohamed, I didn't say just you. I said something to George and Anfisa in their face too. Oh, you bad, huh? Really? You bad? Knock this paper off my shoulder. Knock my mother off my shoulder. Go ahead, I dare you. Cross that line and knock my mother off my shoulder. That's how we used to do in the old days. Y'all remember that? Knock her off. Knock her off. Knock her off. You bad? Go ahead. Get Froggy and Lee. Go ahead. Because that's what you would have had to do. Anyway, I'm going all off. Auntie going all off tonight. Okay? So now the tables done turned to George. So George, what you got to say? I see your buttons over there crying like doves, like the Prince song. Like buttons fly. My buttons are too demanding. Like when buttons fly. Really? You made me want to sing 150 different songs about them buttons. I ain't gonna go into it tonight, but I sure will on the live broadcast. So anyway, let me get it together, okay? Let me get it together. So the next thing we see is George. George is sitting there, and he's going through, talking about how he wasn't there for Anfisa with his family, how she wouldn't allow him to have conversations. And Anfisa's like, basically because I knew you was talking about me. I wanted to hear. And she said, George, do you think that you could have did a better job of introducing Anfisa to your family? George is like, I guess I could have, but when I did introduce her, she ain't like it. And so Anfisa was like, look, bitch, I went over to the house, to your sister's house, which your nephew had a birthday party, and I went to your other sister's house. He said, yeah, but you went over there and you said that you didn't feel welcome. Okay, so there's a lot of us that go over to our significant others' houses and we don't feel welcome. That don't mean you talk about me like a dog. And then so Paola's gonna sit up and say, you know what, hey, I just gotta ask the question. Wait a minute, everybody just shut up. Everybody just shut up, because Paola's got the floor right now. I read an article about there being schools over in Russia that teach you how to be a gold digger. You ever been in that school? So Anfisa was like, yeah, girl, look at me. Look at me, girl. Girl, what are you talking about? Exactly. Paula, what are you talking about? And Alex, who ain't said nothing all night, he said, well, hell, Paula, this school over there in Columbia where you just came from that teach the same damn thing. Didn't you go? I know I saw your ass up there on the board. I know I saw you on the board, Paula. She was like, me? Oh, no. Let's not talk about that visit. I bet you don't want to talk about that. Why would you insult that woman and say that there's a school over there in Russia? Alex was like, there's a school probably in every country that teaches that. It sure is. It's called the School of Hard Knocks, bitch. It's a whole lot of women that go out there and have sex with men for money. And marry men with money. And grow up as gold diggers. And then there are also other countries who make sure they use arranged marriages to make sure that their daughters marry into the same wealth that they have. In some countries, it's not a taboo or a bad thing for you to marry somebody with money, including the United States of America. I ain't gonna marry no broke bitch. There's nothing wrong with that. And just because George put it out there, so she didn't even have to dig for gold. All she had to do was walk through it. She's not a gold digger. She just walked through what he made available. He gonna sit there and say, I put money up in her face. I was lonely. I was broken down from my other relationships. So I wanted somebody. I had to have somebody. Oh my God. And I saw Anfisa, and I was just fascinated with all of this and all of that. And then I gave her $12,000 to fix all of that. I gave her $12,000 to fix her grill. I gave her $12,000 to get the Botox. I gave her $12,000 to get her lips plump. And now you mad. Come on, Pie. Come on, baby girl. Sit back and shut up. Netflix and chill, boo. Shut up. And Anfisa's like, she was like, okay, well, the host was like, well, so let me ask you a question, George. Why you so mad? You just a little bit of bitch tonight. You a little bit of bitch, and I see your buttons pulling. Looking like Benjamin Button. then she gonna say, and he gonna say, because I just feel like I hate her. Basically, he mad. You mad now? And Visa was like, I ain't say nothing about you. He was like, you know why? Because you scared about what I'm gonna say about you. She might be a little nervous. She gonna be okay. This particular episode, I just wish I was the host, because I would have had my staff writing questions that they wouldn't have been ready for. I'm not saying that she's doing a bad job. I'm just saying there's no reason why this had to go into 3 episodes. This is our second tell-all, part 2. And I'm saying, you know what we could have did? We could have wrapped all this up. We could have let Fat George say what he had to say so that his buttons could go back on his shirt and go back on the hanger, and his buttons can relax. We can move on. We don't need to talk about the Langerie. Not when she's sitting up there with Christian Louboutins on her feet. I saw them red bottoms. I saw them. Chantel and Pedro, I guess they'll get an opportunity to tell their story. But basically, Mohamed just wants to disappear. And guess what? So does Auntie. Because at this point, we beating a dead horse in the ground. Anfisa is happy not being with George. She played the role for a long time. She did Instagram and everything else. But now she's ready to be done with him. And I'm ready for her to be done with George too. I'm ready for her to move on with that rich man. He gonna say that he tried to vet her when she was in Russia. You ain't vet her that much when you knew that she was allegedly doing sex acts out on the internet for men for $1. You ain't do that much. And then you gonna say I found out when she came back that she was dating men. And Fizzy said, yeah, I was single. And your fat ass wasn't making a commitment. She asked us, George, did you lie and tell Anfisa you was a millionaire? He said, no, I just flashed money. Youth. One thing I noticed about all of them is that they all talk through their teeth, and they all got like a slight. So I guess that makes, a criteria. That's the criteria for being a crazy asshole who goes and dates somebody in another country, bring them back over here, and think you're going to make them slaves to your will, to your low self-esteem. I guess you guys talk like this, like Chantel be doing, like Danielle be doing, like, all of them be doing, they be talking like this, and then when Danielle gets across, I think we're kind of done with these people. I think we're kind of done. Anyway, this is Auntie's review. Thank you again so much for being here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I apologize for being emotional, and I apologize, you know what I'm saying, for just acting a complete and total butthole out here. But I'm hoping that you all were able to get some out today on review. But anyway, I will see you all tomorrow, where we will be discussing all things 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, because I saw Paul crazy ass go out into that water with all kinds of bags and stuff on him, all kinds of flotation device, and damn near drown. Anyway, y'all, have a good